We're again at the time of the year when the beginning of the tragedy of the Jewish nation starts to unfold before our eyes. Parshas Vayaitzei is where I believe it all began. I'm not sure if there are Meforshim who say exactly what I'm saying or to say the opposite. I'm sure that there are ideas along those lines. In any event, ותרא רחל כי לא ילודו ליעקב, ותקנא רחל באחיסו, ותאמר אל יעקב, הובו לבונן ועם עין מייסה עונכי. This is the first posuk in Perek Lamed. Rachel Imenu is very, very distressed about the fact that she is infertile. She has no children, and in her despair, she somehow comes and she demands that Yaakov give her sons. I'll just read the Rashi the way that it was told to us in 3rd grade. And the argument ends basically by Yaakov Avinu suggesting her that she brings in her tzoro, another woman, a rival of sorts, and in this marriage she will have children. Hello? I don't understand here. How did it all begin? How did it all begin? Rachel does here a tremendous sacrifice. She let her sister in the chuppah of Yaakov Avinu, right? It's just a few pasukim earlier. So if this didn't help, what else would help? I mean, it's in the first case, it wasn't just bringing in a tzoro, a rival, it was giving over the whole chasana to her sister. Well, what's going on here? Why would this help? And what? So this is my theory or my idea about it. When Lavan asks Yaakov to point out his salary, he says that he's going to work for him for 7 years for Rachel. How did Leah feel when she hears this? He asked for the younger daughter before she is married. And then the pasuk tells us that Ein Leah Rokes. Rashi explains that she was crying a lot because she was afraid that she would fall in the lot of Esav. She would become Esav's wife. And she didn't want it. Apparently she wasn't interested in some eternal Jewish family kind of conversion. So she didn't want Esav. Maybe after they would have married her, it would have helped, but probably she didn't think about around those lines. Anyway, we know, apparently, at least the pshat of the pasuk points out to her physical beauty. What does this mean? Is this pasuk trying to tell us something deeper, or is it just a statement? Let's see. Yaakov loved Rachel, and she said he would work 7 years for her. Vayu be'einav keyamim achodim. Those 7 years passed in his eyes like a few days. And how did they pass in Leah's eyes? Crying, no? She was still afraid that she would be Esau's wife. For 7 years she's crying there. Now we don't know what happened exactly. Did Yaakov offer her another shidduch? Did he suggest anyone better than Esau? Did he try to tell her that he would protect her? The pasuk tells us it may very well be the case, but it seems that there was something expected of Yaakov Avinu much above this, some superhuman sacrifice, some sort of something like the equivalent of like Akedas Yitzchak. And it seemed that the psukim here tried to hint to us that he did not pass this test, because we could theorize or surmise that had he actually did everything in his power to say, listen, my choice is Taka Rochel, but without hurting you, maybe he would have seen to it that Leah first marries someone suitable for her. And Yaakov Avinu seems to have failed in doing this. And this seems to be the reason, or at least we see, actually the pasuk tells us openly, Vayar Hashem ki snua Leah. Snua, hated. It's a kind of tough word, no? It's very suggestive. We wouldn't believe that Yaakov actually hated Leah for no reason. But in her eyes, I think that the pasuk is telling us her feelings. She felt that she was hated. She was rejected. And this brings us back to the pasuk that I quoted earlier with Ein Leah. I think that pasuk means something much, much deeper than that. I think that the pasuk describes us the inner personality, the true self, the mohus, the being of the imohus prior to the wedding. Ein Leah rakois. That was her inner self, her real personality. That's what she was. Afraid, she just refused and didn't want to marry a Roshe. She wanted to have the merit of a tzaddik like Yaakov Avinu. That was her whole being. For Rochel, they who self-understood, it went without saying. And therefore, we only mention Yefas Te'er and Yefas Mare. She had it easy. So then Vayar Hashem Tisnu Leah, and she has 3 children, and Leah starts to understand. What do you mean, Vatar Leah? Vater Rochel, Ki lo yolodo. What do you mean? She knew that she was infertile. She understood this from day one, probably. So after Leah has 3 children, then it seems the pasuk hints us that she started to sense that something here is not right. And then later we see that when Reuben gets those tudaim, whatever that was, that kind of skula or kind of medicine for fertility, whatever that was, we are used to think about it, or the knee-jerk reaction is to think, well, what a chutzpah from Leah? What do you mean, Ishi? Well, it's not so poshut. It's true that someone did you a great favor, but the fact of the matter is that Rochel, neither Rochel nor Yaakov thought about it till the last moment, and Yaakov even till after the last moment. So Rochel had to give you secret of the passwords to go into the chuppah. But for 7 years you were forsaken. And even after the marriage, it seems that, I'm sure that obviously we can't accuse Yaakov Avinu of such behavior, but at least in her eyes it seemed like she's being neglected and not appreciated. And that's, you can see it from the names of her children. She was obsessed with this. Shimon, Reuven, the pasuk explains, spells out that now I won't be hated anymore. You see. So I think this kind of rift and conflict is going on. And Rochel Imenu herself, until her inner self had to be changed. She had to go through this pain, this torture, until she finally got children. And she only got 2. It seems that this conflict between the Imohis have been handed down to future generations. And that's also the topic when I'm explaining in those posts. I'll give you a link there under the video. And I think that it's pretty interesting, and this is my theory, that it all started here. This conflict of jealousy and kind of inequality that's been handed down, and also is manifest in the way that Yaakov's children related to each other. So this is my theory of how our situation all began a couple thousand years ago. And I think the time has come to start thinking about mending it and changing the way that it's been going on for so long. Have a good Shabbos.